There's an invisible program running in the background of your mind right now, determining every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every decision you make. Like an old, outdated operating system, it keeps executing the same codes from 20, 30, maybe 40 years ago, keeping you trapped in patterns that no longer reflect who you truly are. Perhaps you feel like you're living a life that isn't completely yours, as if you're operating with mental software that belongs to someone else, your parents, your family, your society. As if your true essence were imprisoned within programming you never consciously chose. Perhaps you feel frustrated repeating the same patterns, even when your soul screams for change. This sensation of being trapped in a limited version of yourself, knowing intuitively that something greater is waiting to emerge, can generate profound pain, like a bird trying to fly with wings clipped by beliefs that aren't even yours. The pain of living below your potential, of feeling there's a superior version of you that remains inaccessible, can create a sense of silent desperation, as if you were losing your own life. Dr. Bruce Lipton revolutionized our understanding of the mind when he discovered that subconscious programming is 1,000,000 times more powerful than conscious programming. Joe Dispenza demonstrated that when we change our mind, we change our life and our entire world. The liberating truth is this: your quantum self already exists at a higher frequency. You're not trapped in the past. You're just operating with outdated mental software. When you recognize that you can recode your mind's operating system, the perception that radical transformation is possible through conscious recoding becomes your new reality. Your subconscious mind was programmed primarily until age 7, absorbing every belief, every pattern, every limitation from your surrounding environment like a sponge. Since then, you've been operating with that same operating system, like a computer running 1990s software, trying to execute 2025 programs. This ancient system wasn't designed for the expanded version of you that's emerging. It was created for basic survival, not quantum prosperity. That's why you feel that internal resistance when trying to create changes. Your mental software doesn't recognize the new commands. In the quantum field of infinite possibilities, your highest version already exists completely formed. It's not a future possibility. It's a present reality, vibrating at a different frequency. This quantum self possesses all the wisdom, clarity, and power you seek. The revolutionary discovery is that you don't need to become this version. You need to recognize that you already are it, just operating with mental programming that doesn't reflect this truth. Neuroscience reveals that 95% of our daily thoughts are repetitions of yesterday's thoughts. This means you're constantly reinforcing the same mental programming, recreating the past instead of creating the future. This limitation code keeps you trapped in a temporal loop, where each day is a variation of the previous one. Breaking this code is the key to accessing your quantum self and recoding your reality. There's a sacred moment where a genuine decision can break decades of neural conditioning instantly. It's not a superficial mental decision, but a decision that emerges from your being's core with such intensity that it physically reorganizes your brain structure. This neural revolution happens when you completely stop negotiating with limitation and assume a new identity with total conviction. It's like pressing the reset button on a computer. The entire system restarts with new programming. Neuroplasticity responds to experience intensity, not time. A moment of elevated emotional intensity can create more neural change than years of mechanical repetition. That's why traumas can change a person instantly. And that's why moments of illumination can too. The moment of rupture happens when you intentionally generate such elevated emotional intensity that you force your brain to form new connections. It's like creating a neural earthquake that breaks old structures and allows new ones to form. Each emotion you feel creates a specific chemical cascade in your brain. When you consciously cultivate elevated emotions, gratitude, love, joy, awe, you're literally creating new neural connections that support an expanded version of you. The chemistry of transformation happens when you stop waiting for external reality to change to feel different, and start intentionally generating the emotional states of your quantum self. These new emotions become the building blocks of your new mental programming. Just as a computer can be updated with a new operating system, your mind can undergo a quantum reset, where all old programming is replaced with a superior version. This reset doesn't happen gradually. It happens in moments of conscious choice. The quantum reset is possible because your mind is fundamentally energy, and energy can be reorganized instantly through directed consciousness. At the quantum level, you're already entangled with all versions of yourself, including the highest and wisest version. This entanglement means there's no real distance between you and your higher self, only differences in vibrational frequency. When you understand you're already connected to your perfect version, the transformation journey changes from seeking something outside to tuning into something that's already within. It's like discovering you always had internet access, but were using dial-up. Your higher self operates at a specific frequency, a combination of love, wisdom, clarity, and power. When you learn to tune into this frequency, you automatically access the qualities and capabilities of this expanded version. Tuning into the higher self frequency is like adjusting a radio to a specific station. The music was always being broadcast. You just needed to find the right frequency. This tuning doesn't require Herculean effort, just willingness to abandon the static of old programming. When you're aligned with your higher self, insights and solutions arrive as instant downloads. They're not products of linear thinking, but revelations that emerge from quantum wisdom that already exists within you. These downloads happen because you're accessing a consciousness database that transcends your limited personal experience. It's like suddenly having access to a cosmic library of knowledge that was always available, but you didn't know how to access it. The distance between you and your higher self is an illusion created by the linear mind. In the quantum field, both versions exist simultaneously. The time you imagine needing to transform is just the resistance of old programming. When you eliminate the distance illusion, transformation becomes instantaneous. You stop trying to become someone and recognize you already are that person, just operating with outdated programming that doesn't reflect your true nature. Are you feeling this connection to your quantum self activating now? This perception that perhaps you're already more than you imagine. Before we continue to the final recoding, leave in the comments one word that represents the quality of your higher self you're choosing to embody today. Your declaration is the first code of your new programming. Your personal story has become an invisible prison that defines what you believe is possible for you. Every time you identify with past limitations, you reinforce programming that keeps your quantum self inaccessible. The narrative prison is subtle but powerful. It constantly whispers, "You've always been this way. This isn't for people like you. You don't have what it takes." This narrative becomes a filter that only allows experiences confirming the limited version of you. In the quantum field, identity is frequency, and frequency determines experience. When you recode your identity to align with your quantum self, your external reality automatically reorganizes to reflect this new frequency. The new identity code is simple but revolutionary. You need to be who you want to become before having external evidence. When you embody your quantum self's identity, circumstances align naturally. For your quantum self to emerge completely, the old version of you needs to die, symbolically. This death isn't loss, it's liberation. It's the end of identification with limitations that were never real. Allowing the old version to die can be scary because it was familiar, even while limiting. But this death is necessary for the authentic version of you to be born without interference from obsolete programming. The quantum field responds to coherence between who you say you are and how you actually vibrate. When there's total alignment between your declared identity and lived identity, the field manifests experiences that confirm this authenticity. Identity coherence is what transforms intention into reality. When you're authentically your quantum self, there's no internal resistance, and manifestation becomes natural. Most of your life has been controlled by the autopilot of subconscious programming. The control transfer happens when you consciously take charge of your experience, operating from your quantum self's wisdom. This transfer isn't forced. It's a relaxation into your true nature. It's like stopping rowing against the current and allowing the river of quantum consciousness to carry you where you need to be. The struggle ceases when you recognize you don't need to control every detail. Just tune into the higher frequency. Your quantum self comes with a superior operating system that already knows how to navigate life with elegance, wisdom, and flow. This system doesn't need to be learned. It needs to be activated and allowed. When you trust the superior operating system, decisions become intuitive, actions flow naturally, and life organizes with synchronicity that seems magical but is simply quantum. It's like discovering you always had a perfect internal GPS, but were trying to navigate with old maps. Integration of new programming happens through small conscious choices throughout the day. Every time you choose to respond from your quantum self, instead of old programming, you strengthen new neural circuits. Practice isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. Each moment of alignment with your quantum self is a victory that reinforces new programming. Like a plant that grows imperceptibly each day, your transformation solidifies through conscious repetition. Quantum flow is the state where living from your higher self becomes as natural as breathing. There's no more effort or struggle, just authentic expression of your true nature. In this state, you no longer need to work on your transformation because you've become the transformation. Life flows through you with elegance that reflects the quantum field's perfection. It's as if you finally remembered how to dance a dance you always knew. The most liberating recognition is that you always were your quantum self. The limited version was just temporary programming, not your true identity. When you remove conditioning layers, what remains is the purity of your quantum essence. This recognition isn't achievement, it's remembrance. You're not becoming your quantum self. You're stopping pretending you're not it. Like a statue that always existed within marble, you simply remove what doesn't belong to your true form. Your new normal is a life where operating from quantum consciousness becomes natural, where wisdom, love, and power flow through you effortlessly, because that's your authentic nature. In this new normal, you don't practice being your quantum self, you simply are. And life organizes around this truth. It's like waking from a dream where you believed you were limited and discovering you were always infinite. Complete integration happens when your mind's recoding becomes so natural. You forget you once operated differently. Your quantum self is no longer an aspiration. It's your lived experience. In this integration state, you no longer need to remember to be who you are. The new programming has become as automatic as the old, but now reflects your truth instead of your limitations. Recoding your mind isn't a future process, it's a present choice. Your quantum self isn't waiting to emerge, it's waiting to be recognized. The transformation you seek has already happened at the quantum level. Now it's a matter of updating your mental programming to reflect this reality. You have the power to rewrite your existence's code in this moment, to abandon the past's obsolete software and activate the superior operating system that was always available. If this message touched something deep within you, subscribe to the channel to continue receiving your quantum self's activation codes. Share this video with someone ready to recode their reality, and leave in the comments, what's the first change you'll implement with your new mental programming? Remember, you don't need to become your quantum self. You need to stop pretending you're not it.